Shine. It is Sunday morning. I apologize being a little bit late. Was pouring over some weather data this morning. Just needed to make sure that we had everything good to go for coffee talk. But here we are, charging the car, and we're doing our things. Good morning. This is Coffee Talk. I'm meteorologist Eric Burris. We get together 7 days a week, just about. Talk about what's going on in the world of weather. Hopefully get your day started off on the right note. Obviously, this morning is beautiful, but I do want you to know we are tracking impact weather today, as strong to severe storms are something that we're going to have to keep eyes on for sure. The timeline is going to be 5 to about 11 o'clock. That's what we're looking at here. And because of that, obviously, the Daytona 500 is in jeopardy, at least part of it. Now, I want you to notice that the race time shifted. The good folks over at the Speedway made the good call to shift everything up an hour. And by doing that, it gave them the opportunity to at least dodge, we think, some of the worst weather. So this afternoon, it's going to end up gusty. And of course, through the day, we start watching those showers and those storms moving our direction. So here's the latest timeline, we think, for these storms to arrive. 5 to 8 in our northern spots, 8 to 10 across the metro, and then 10 to midnight across our southern communities. In terms of intensity for these storms, okay, the greatest threat for nasty storms is going to be just north of us, okay? And from Tallahassee to Panama City to Jacksonville, a level 2 out of 5 risk. But for our area, we're looking at a level 1 out of 5 risk, at least for most of our area. Now, Marion County, you're obviously in that heightened element. So for today, when we kind of look at everything, it's going to be warm. Those showers and storms arrive. And then for tomorrow, for our President's Day, we start with the clouds, then we clear things out. It is going to end up being gorgeous. And then later in the week, we're going to get warmer and warmer and warmer. So before we go much further, and we're going to dial into obviously all this stuff, let's just look at our forecast, okay? So here we are for your Sunday. 70% coverage of showers and storms, and that's going to be later in the day, right? Then for tomorrow, President's Day, no school, as William on YouTube points out. Maybe a few morning showers, then clearing. Mid 70s, so it'll be a little bit milder. For our Tuesday, is that Chinese New Year? Gorgeous, 77, but look at how we're into the mid 80s later this week. It's looking great. It's looking great. It's looking great. Man, oh man, is it looking great. We've got a really nice stretch of weather coming our direction. So let's pause and just kind of get a lay of the land right now, okay? Across North Florida, there is a tornado watch already posted until 2 p.m. as these storms are moving on through, okay? So when does this arrive in our area? Let's take a look at our futurecast model and get an idea, okay? So we start this morning, and it's gorgeous. It's going to be the majority of the day today is going to be gorgeous. But there's 4, 5 o'clock storms arriving in Gainesville, working to Jacksonville. 6 o'clock, now we're getting into Marion County. We're approaching St. Augustine. 7, 8 o'clock, now we're approaching the Daytona International Speedway, getting into the villages, knocking on the doorstep of Leesburg. Downtown Orlando, we'll be tracking it. It won't be here yet, but it'll be approaching. 9 o'clock in. So, the good news, if I'm honest with you, the latest trends have actually been really pretty good for the Speedway. It's really looking better and better on all of these things, right? Heavy rains moving into the I-4 corridor. Eventually we'll be getting on through and continuing on. Look at that, 10:30, 11 o'clock, and then getting over to Brevard County, 1, 2. And then for tomorrow, we'll have some clouds. May squeak out a quick passing sprinkle, but you'll notice the sun shines more and more into the afternoon. So that's our model. Let me switch over and look at the HRRR model here. Let me dial up the HRRR. Wait, I got to actually hit the button. There's the HRRR model. Okay. Stand by. I have to hit this. All right. So here's the HRRR model. I want to look at the timing of this for us, okay? So we're starting off this morning. We're looking great, rolling through time. Beautiful sunshine. Now, the HRRR does look even a little later than our futurecast model is. This is 6 p.m. North and west of our area. 7 o'clock getting in, 8 o'clock. The HRRR, I would also mention, seems to be a little more intense than futurecast. So definitely something to watch. Nine, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and then continuing to weaken from there. So that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. So the timing looks to be pretty solid. Our forecast package seems to be right on point. And essentially during the day today, we're going to be just fine. Do whatever we want to do. We're going to be fine with it. It's going to be into late that we have to watch for the race. The race is continuing to look better and better. The model trends are looking better and better. But there is that threat for some stronger storms, right? So when we break down the categories in today's threats, you'll notice that the hail threat has kind of gone down, but the tornadic threat and the damaging wind threat is still there. So those are definitely some elements that we need to eyeball. So what I want to do is I want to come over here, hit this. I'm going to refresh this. We're going to hit HRRR. We're going to look at the HRRR, and we're going to go to KOCF. Perfect. All right, so what I'm going to do is, oh, hi there. We're going to do some Skew-T log P fun. Now, for those of you that are new, we're going to look at computer model data that kind of gives us an illustration of what is to come, we'll say. Okay, so there's a lot going on here, but what you're looking at is the HRRR model's idea of sending a weather balloon up. And on that left side over here, this is the green is the dew point, the red is the temperature, over here is wind barbs. Okay, so this is valid at 13Z, so that's going to be 8 o'clock this morning, 9 a.m. So let's, oh, it's the newest run. The 13Z run is running. Let's go forward to like 10. So that's going to be, so what is it? It's 11, 12, 13, 14. So it's a 5-hour difference. So 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. So that's going to be 5 p.m. All right, so that's 5 p.m. on the HRRR model in Ocala. So bottom right corner just already illustrates marginal severe, okay? So got it. Winds definitely a little wind streak up above us. All right, now we're starting to get into some decent turning. So they call this the storm slinky in here, and it's cheesy, but essentially it lets us look at, as the balloon were to rise, what would it do with height? A little bit of a dry pocket downstairs, definitely a little bit of a jet streak, a little bit of a turn in the wind. Not significant, but it's enough we could get something rotating. Yeah, there you go. There's a decent turn with height. Yeah, definitely enough of a dynamic to be able to get some rotation there. And that's why Marion County in particular, so this is 5 p.m. Marion County in particular is under that, they call it a slight risk, but it's that level 2 out of 5 risk for strong to severe storms. And that's why today is a day that we're going to have to watch, right? Okay, so that's going to be, what is that? That's 0, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. So that's 7 p.m. Here's 8 p.m. Kind of saturating the atmosphere. 9 p.m. Yes. Yeah, totally different. All right, so then we move over to MCO as the line moves in. And I'm going to back it up to, this is here. All right. So this is 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. So that's 6 p.m. in Orlando. Nothing crazy. 7 p.m. We're good. Not as much of a shearing component, although you could see the storm slinky starts kicking the shear component in. All right. Marginal severe here. 2, 1, 0, 23, 22, 21, 10. So that's 9. Yeah, this is definitely more of a marginal setup here. There's definitely a little bit of a shear element there. It is definitely more marginal in Orlando than Ocala. So I'm definitely seeing, and then it goes saturated as the rains kind of move on through, and that's that. Yeah. All right. So just as expected here, our northern spots are going to be the areas that are of most concern to watch that threat for stronger storms. So there's not a surprise. There's not a shock to the system at all. Looking at the data, we're still nice and consistent. So tornadic threat, the highest to the north. Damaging wind threat, highest to the north. I would simply say when we look at today's weather setup as a whole, it's going to be our northern spots that have that greatest threat for strong to severe storms, okay? So that's kind of where we're at today, all right? So that said, questions, comments, concerns. How are we doing? Matt says the storm slinky is the winter Campeche. Yeah, right. Frank says, so Florida's going to Florida. Got it. Yeah. As it turns out, Florida is going to Florida. Chris says you need to do a coffee talk from the plane one day. Well, I actually have a video of a flight. Maybe I'll post that tomorrow. Tim and I did a flight to Panama City the other day, and we filmed it. So, but it only got posted to the Coffee Talkers page. Maybe what we'll have to do is we'll have to post that to the to my full page and see. So Christina's asking, will it impact flights? Yeah, it definitely might. You know, air traffic is one of those finicky things that they don't like flying through thunderstorms. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a potential. It's definitely a potential there. Yeah. How does Denellen look? Strong storms here too? I would say Denellen has the chance indeed to see some strong storms. Bruce says that's a great video. Thanks. Lori, so the hail risk is lessened. You know, the Storm Prediction Center said that. If I'm honest, as a meteorologist, I'm not going to say that there's going to be like massive hail, but hail is a thing that we're going to have to watch. You know what I mean? So, especially north, especially in those northern areas, okay? So that's kind of where we're at. That's the storm timeline. For today, if you're heading out, just know that it's going to be those evening storms. I think that the biggest concern for us is going to be the damaging winds. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. All right. Jeannie Rowan says, oh, early dog walk for sure. Yes. Rodney, good morning. You're always, I try to be honest. I try to just share the weather. Janice is asking, flying today? No, I flew last night. Had to run down to South Florida. So yeah, did a quick hop last night. Mary says, so by north, do include the coast like Flagler. Yeah, Flagler is one of our northern spots. But when you look, you know, the level 2 out of 5 risk for strong to severe storms does not include Flagler. But yes, in all, you're among our northern spots. Yes. All right. Questions, comments, concerns, my friends. Now that I've gone through my diatribe of things, I'll pop up our 7-day forecast and then we can go from here. Tim's asking about the hurricane forecast preview. My friend, I am in the less than 10% of having it done phase. Your boy needs to do some work. I did not know, Matt. I did not. It was closed by the time I did that. Sue's asking Marion County. So for tonight, I think Marion County has a chance to get some nasty storms. Yeah, for sure. Janice, is it scary to fly alone at night? Well, I don't mind flying alone during the day or at night. I would say though, there was no moon last night. So I was like, ooh, it's dark up here, you know? Patty's asking for the coastal 7-day forecast. I got you, Patty. Here we are. So obviously for the coastline, the temperatures are going to be dropped just a little bit, but same idea. Impact weather for us for this evening's storms that will move in. Yeah. All right. And then afterward, you know, our temperatures climb. This week, our temperatures are on the way up. Look at where we are headed here. Okay. Our afternoon temperatures, look at how they go. 82, 83 degrees. It's going to feel like spring, y'all. It's going to be beautiful out. Just gorgeous. I love it. What can I say? Just gorgeous weather. Andrew Hayes on YouTube says, anyone who's going to the race, hope you enjoy it. Drive safe. Bring your rain poncho for afterward and trying to navigate the crowds and traffic going home. Yeah, there's that. Judy's asking about the Daytona race. So because Kelleher and crew adjusted the race time, I actually think that the forecast looks good. It now starts at 1:30, but the same idea here where by the end, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's going to be the range of time when we get those storms moving on in. Becky says, send some of those temps over to Tampa. Well, Tampa's weather's obviously going to be a little different than Orlando's weather, but this is the same type of weather pattern for us. You know? Diane, can you answer my question? What's your question, my dear? I didn't see it. What was your question, Diane? I'm scrolling to find Diane's question. What's your question, Diane? I'm sorry, I didn't see it. Stacy and Gary say, I'm over the cold weather. I am too. I'm over it. Have no interest in it at all anymore. None. Robinette, good morning to you. Good morning. All right. So, questions, comments, concerns? Anything else? Jeannie Rowan says, spring has sprung. No one tell the gopher. I know, right? So funny. So funny. Sue's asking, tornado risk in Marion County just moved up here. I would say that there is the potential that's there. You know, when we look at the threat breakdown, hold on, this is the threat breakdown I'm looking for. The threat breakdown kind of illustrates that, you know, Marion County is going to be in the higher threat than maybe the rest of town. This banner is all kinds of fakakta. I got to get in here and fix this garbage. Jesus. But yeah. Yep. Eric need to have the super chats. What's a super chat? Help me understand, people. I'm not cool. I'm not one of those cool guys that understands the super chat. Bruce is asking any amount of rain. Ah, yes. All right. So how much rain could we be looking at here? Let's look at this. Where are we at? Hold on. Okay. All right. So here's our futurecast rainfall product. Give it a second to load. Maybe. You're going to load? There we go. All right. So futurecast is showing 1 to 2 inches in spots. Most of us could get a half of an inch, though. A half of an inch to an inch. That doesn't look terrible. So yeah, it's not going to be a complete it's not going to be a complete washout tonight, but there is the potential, look, to see some decent little rains. And it says through Wednesday, but at the end of the day, that really is through tonight. Like that's tonight's rain. It's not like it's going to rain beyond that. The way that people can ask and you can see it. Oh, interesting. I've never heard of a super chat. I'll take super chat money. Hey. Let's see here. I think super chat is where they can give you money. Doesn't sound terrible to me. All right. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns, my friends? I want to make sure everybody knows what's good before we put this puppy to bed. We need the rain. Janice is saying yes. Tim says, I think we aren't getting a new meteorologist. So actually, we have hired a new meteorologist. I'm not going to tell you who it is yet, but you will meet this person, and I can't wait to introduce you to this person. When they came in on their interview, they were wonderful. We were Tony and I enjoyed this person's time. It was great. So very much looking forward to the future. Very much looking forward to the future. Yeah, for real. And people ask questions. I love the questions. I love the questions. Look up, man. You can do this. What am I looking up for? What am I doing? What am I doing wrong here? Did you go to Spark STEM Fest with the kids yet? No, I think we're going to do tomorrow. I think we're going to do it tomorrow. The truth, the OG weather nerds. No, we're weather nerding here. This is the weather nerd crew right here. We hang out. We talk. Look, it's an impact day today. We'll be fine. Then we get to enjoy the rest of the week. We're going to be fine there as well. Good morning. Is there going to be lightning? I would suspect that there is probably going to be some flashes of lightning. Yeah. Janice, thank you. Appreciate it. It's my like inner 80s kid, you know? Frills, look it up. Super chat. Oh, look it up. Super chat. Got you. Yeah. All right. What's the red dot on Tuesday? I believe is it the Chinese New Year? Let me look it up. Yeah, that's the Chinese New Year. The Chinese New Year in 2026 falls on Tuesday, February 17th, making it the start of the year of the fire horse or red horse. All right, so that's it. Yeah. I got you, Miss Evelyn. I got you. Let's see here. Any fun on the GFS and the Euro? It's not crazy. Nothing crazy. Just to let you all know, by the way, looks like Chief Meteorologist Tony Minolfi is working this evening, rolling in with meteorologist Marquise Mida. So you're going to have team coverage to make sure that we're good to get through these storms this evening. Not that there's anything that should be too bad, but we'll hope to keep it under control. Kayla says we have an outdoor wedding in New Smyrna Beach at 4:30 p.m. How are we looking? 4:30 p.m. I would still say you're looking pretty okay. Our futurecast runs now every 2 hours. You're asking about New Smyrna Beach. That's 8:30. So for 4:30, here's 4:30. The storm line will be approaching, but I think you're going to be doing just fine. All right. Next cruise is mid-March, Tim says. Can I get good weather, please? I'll try. I'll try. Joanne, I think we're out of the freeze weather, at least for the next, next little series of time. We're looking good. Come on, think about it. Loading the 7-day. There we go. Yeah, so at least for the next series of time. All right, questions, comments, concerns? Again, I apologize for being a little delayed today, but here we are. All right? All right, people, listen. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. Thank you so much for hanging out. Listen, we'll be tracking the storms. I'll be posting on the socials as is needed to keep you and your family up to date. All right? Be good. We'll see y'all later. Take care. Bye.